Okay, this will be an interesting one. Let's see how we go with it. Hey. I wonder how big we're going to make this. Going 200. And we're going to... I don't want auto rotate. Oh no, yeah, I don't want it off. Oh, stupid user interface, confusing, silly. I'm actually thinking we're going to make this into a negative positive. Now we're going to select going with the red as the background colour, and we're just going to set this up. I'm going to try and make this one look nice, even though it's not going to be an easy one to work with colour wise. Going all the way with the contrast. We're not going to use that. We're going to use that because if we want to use contrast, we can't use that. Silly. I don't know how the red's going to look. We're just going to warm up the hue a fair bit. Let's see how this one looks, if we can make it look good. Let's see what we have to present to the photocopier. It is Avanti shirts, and we're going to photocopy, of course, the lady, or we're going to try and photocopy her, if we can fit it underneath like so, which is going to be awkward with the dock feeder in the way, as it always is in the way. It's a pain in the ass, this design. I wish dock feeders could be easily removed to photocopy stuff like this, which is a little bit difficult to handle. So now let's see how this looks. See if we've made this look good. First go. But it's a pain in the ass that you can't see, you can't put things on the glass that are too far behind because of the dock feeder being in the way. But anyway, that looks it looks shithouse colour-wise, but the composition looks good. I like the composition of this. The red looks absolutely horrid, and it's all green and yeah, horrible. Horrible, horrible. So we're not going to, I think this is not going to work terribly well as a negative positive image. I think it's not a very nice colour scheme, I find. And I'm trying to change it, but it doesn't seem to work very well in this setting. So now we're just going to set things back where they were. Maybe the contrast could go in the middle instead of all the way. Maybe the hue can just go back. So we're just going to set it up relatively normal, but the enlargement looks good. So let's see if we can bring out the colours in this as they are. However unattractive those colours are that I find. Anyway, that looks really dark. It's a dark red. Wondering if we could just lighten it up. It does look pretty dark. But these colours, you know, these are not... A lot of people might like these colours. It's not my cup of tea. There's some colour schemes just don't appeal to me at all, whereas for other people, this might be the kind of colour scheme that they find desirable. You know, they may not have the same idea that the colours look khaki or the colours look a bit monochromatic or almost monochromatic. But basically, yeah, a lot of people, I'm sure, would like these colours because because I think a lot of the shirts that with this company basically have these sorts of colours, that I myself don't find agreeable. They're not my taste, not my proverbial cup of tea, but I've got to accept it, you know. I'm going to make that the centre. I'm wondering if there's anything more we can do, or we're just going to leave it like that and we're just going to print it off. I'm sure other people who see my demos might appreciate this kind of colour scheme. I'm going to lighten it up further because it is too dark. So we're going to lighten it. We're going to add extra lightness to it using these two in tandem. We can't use the contrast anymore because we've got the brightness. So let's see how we go in improving the quality of this image. So, but basically, this is not my kind of colour scheme. I don't like these colours. As a general rule, they are kind of khaki-ish. It actually looks better now. I have improved it a little bit. Just see, yeah, that's the new one and that's the old one. There's a little bit of difference. I'm wondering if we're going to just pump it up even brighter. I'm going to pump it up brighter. I'm going to add a little bit more or a lot more. I'm not just going to take a small amount. I darkened it. That's what I did wrong. I actually darkened it instead of lightened it, and it still came out light. I don't know why. That's because I'm used to using it with negative positive. So I fucked up, and it still came out. It looked like it came out a bit lighter. Obviously, I was imagining things. It's almost like the placebo effect, if you know what I mean, folks. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's lighter now. You can see the difference. That's a lot lighter. It looks a bit wishy-washy. I'm wondering which one I'm going to take. We're going to run with that one, even though it looks a bit wishy-washy. No, we can't use contrast with that setting. I'm actually preferring the first one rather than this one. I'm just going to see what we're going to do. We're going to just stick with this. We're going to run with this. I get a gut feeling the audience will probably like this version better. You know, it's not just about me, folks. It's about you guys, because you're my audience. And I want my audience to enjoy what I do. And if the audience like this shit, even though I don't, well, so be it. I'll still, even though it doesn't agree with me, I'll still print it. So that's those two. So I'll try and do a really good demo using the settings that we've got now. But obviously the negative positive was a good try. It was a bit of a try, but it didn't work. So I'm just going to switch on the mirror image and print off the two. Okay, yeah, it comes. Let's see how that looks with our... Now, we just got to move this other shit away. It's in the way. So we just got to get our tropical girl looking good. So let's see how we go. But a lot of these tropical shirts do have colours that I find like this, that I find personally distasteful. But a lot of people obviously like this colour scheme. So yeah, there you go. Well, anyway, that looks quite okay. I think now we can call this demo quits.